Would you believe me if I told you that 30 days is enough time for you to completely turn your finances around? I believe that 30 days, 1 month, is enough time to completely shift how you think about money, how you handle money, and how confident you feel about money. Now, let me be real. This is not going to be a full financial overhaul where 30 days from now, you can quit your job because you're a multimillionaire and you never got to work another day in your life. This is not that kind of video. What I want to challenge you to do is do one thing for 30 days on purpose. And if you can do that, your finances will both improve in this 30 days and you're going to build momentum beyond that 30 days to continue improving your finances. So if you're ready for your finances to get an upgrade and look and feel different this year, then you are watching the right video. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lissa. I'm a certified financial planner and I help women build wealth and an abundant mindset. So if that's your vibe, go ahead and subscribe. So what is my 30-day Get Your Money Right challenge? My intent is to help you reset your habits, rebuild your momentum, and help you feel powerful with money into the future. Why 30 days? Well, I believe with my whole heart that any one of you can do anything for 30 days. A few months ago, a couple of friends and I wanted to eat healthier, and all of us have a sweet tooth, but we all decided that we're gonna do no sugar for an entire month. At the beginning, I felt like it was gonna be impossible, and then as I gained momentum, it was way easier than I thought. And since then, I've not gone back to eating that level of sugar and desserts that I used to. I will still have a sweet treat here and there, but not nearly as much as I did before I did that challenge. So that's the framework I want you to have going into this. Yes, this 30 days, you're gonna make some improvements, but what you're really doing is setting yourself up for success long-term so that you can find more success with building wealth and building an abundant mindset. So here's the fun part. There are 5 different challenge paths. The reason I'm offering 5 different challenges that you can pick from is because all of you are at different stages of your financial journey. You all have different needs currently, and only you know what you need best for your financial life. Here's how it's gonna work. You're going to watch this entire video, see the 5 options, and pick one challenge path to stick to, and then you start today for 30 days. Or if you need time to prep mentally, go ahead, take a beat, and then start tomorrow. The first challenge is the Money Education Challenge. For 15 minutes a day, you are gonna learn one thing about money. That's it. It could be a podcast episode, a YouTube video, read a newsletter or articles, or you can grab a finance book and make sure you read at least 15 minutes of it a day. 15 minutes a day for 30 days is 450 minutes. It took me a second there to do the math. 450 minutes is 7.5 hours of financial education. So 7.5 hours of clarity, perspective, learning new terminology, just being around content related to money is going to give you more confidence. So who is this challenge best for? Well, I think if money has felt very confusing to you or overwhelming, especially in more recent days, this might be a good one for you to start with because it's very easy. You're consuming content. It's also probably a good challenge if you generally feel behind on financial knowledge. Let's say you didn't get financial literacy or education in school or growing up. Maybe you learned some things from your parents, but not other things like investing, and you know that now's the time to start. And this challenge is also probably good for people who've just been procrastinating learning the basics. I think you'll know if what you need is financial education. Now, who is this not for? This is who I don't want to pick this challenge. There's 4 others for you to choose from. I don't think this is the right challenge for you if you're mentally burnt out Like if you have zero bandwidth for learning new things, maybe you're in school currently, maybe your job is just that demanding, maybe you have other responsibilities like kids, and maybe you're not getting enough sleep, it's going to be hard to absorb information and then eventually take action using what you learn if you're so tired and burnt out that you can't focus. A few tips for success if this is the 30-day challenge you want to take on. Number one, pair it with something that you already do. This is called habit stacking. So if you take a daily walk or if you cook every day, play a finance podcast while you do those things for 30 days. If you read a book in the evenings or you watch TV, set a timer for 15 minutes before you do that activity to make sure that you get your reading out of the way or watching videos, whatever form of content you choose. Tip number two, I would suggest prepping your list of resources ahead of time. So if you're going to start this challenge tomorrow, then today, for 30 minutes, come up with a list of all the podcasts you're going to check out, all the books you're going to read, all the YouTube videos you're going to binge watch on my channel, wink, wink. But really though, prep the list and it'll reduce friction in doing this challenge. And last tip, I would set a reminder for yourself either on your calendar or an alarm on your phone. Make sure you remind yourself to do the challenge every single day until it becomes automatic and second nature. Let's move on to the second challenge option, which is the Money Diary Challenge. For 30 days, you're gonna track and write down every single dollar that comes into your possession and every dollar that goes out. This doesn't have to do with money you already have in your bank account, etc., but it's new money coming in, you're tracking it, and any money that's going out, you're also tracking that. This is not building out a full budget. This is simply gaining an awareness of your cash flow. This awareness and actually having your numbers of what your cash flow looks like can inform so many actions you can take on your finances later, but you need this data to get started. This challenge is best for people who always feel like,
where the hell did all my money go?
It's also good for you who are beginners who want to budget someday but haven't started yet, because I actually think this is a step you should do before you start budgeting. And this is also great for people who tend to overspend and maybe have a lot of leaks in their finances, paying for things you forgot you were paying for, etc. This challenge will be great for helping to find a remedy for that. Now, who is this challenge not for? I don't think this is great if you're gonna get overwhelmed by details and tracking. And I also don't think this is great if you are currently in a financial crisis or emergency. During the middle of a crisis is not gonna be representative of other months. And you wanna get a good representation of what your cash flow looks like on a regular basis. The benefits of this particular challenge are literally endless because a lot of times people struggle with budgeting because they set aside money for a certain category and then overspend in that category. And a big reason why is because they haven't looked at what they're actually already doing. So when you know what your actual cash flow is, it helps inform your future budgeting and planning, and it makes your wealth goals way more realistic. So a couple of tips, I would suggest doing this in a notebook and finding a pen that you really like using. If you prefer to do it digitally, you can also do that in a spreadsheet. I have a free cash flow tracker spreadsheet that you can use. Normally when I talk about my cash flow tracker, I'm telling y'all to look back at the last 30 days or look back at the last 90 days of transactions in your bank account or credit card accounts. But you can use the spreadsheet in the same exact way, but you're just doing it day by day, and then in 30 days from now, you're going to be able to look at what that cash flow calculation is. On to challenge number 3. The one category, no spend challenge. If you want to take it up a notch, go ahead and do an entire no spend challenge. I'm keeping it simple here. We're doing one category. So what is the no spend challenge? It's exactly what it sounds like. Some people will challenge themselves to not spend for an entire month. Typically, you're still going to spend on your fixed necessary expenses. For example, your housing and your food and any regular recurring bills you might have. But anything discretionary and beyond that, you're not going to spend. You're saying no to everything, basically. If you want a lighter version, which still has a very powerful effect, you can just pick one category. Pause or reduce your spending in one category for 30 days. That could be your beauty services. It could be your streaming services. Maybe you do a no TV month or just a free TV month. There's so many options that you can choose from. Make it something challenging, something that you spend a lot of money on and you want to see how much you can save by just avoiding it for 1 month. I think that this challenge is best for people who tend to overspend in an area. I know I've had lots of times in my life where beauty services took up a chunk of my budget between doing nails and my hair and my eyelash extensions. It cost so much money. And then pandemic happened and I pulled back on a whole lot of those. One, because I didn't want to go out in public and get exposed to COVID. And two, I knew how to do a lot of those things myself and I didn't really need to wear a lot of makeup during that time either. So feeling that difference of how much money I can actually save when I don't do a certain service was very motivating to me because I just directed that to my investments. But on top of that, it's not that I didn't go back to those things later. It made me appreciate those things a lot more. When I went back to doing them myself during the pandemic, I hated it, so I just didn't even do them at all. Now I'm back to getting them done at the nail salon and it makes me appreciate it so much more. I'm getting more value for spending the same money. Sorry for the mini tangent, I just wanted to share that with you guys. Now, who is this challenge not best for? I don't think you can really do a no spend challenge if you have an unpredictable schedule. For example, if you try to do a no dining out challenge, but you have to travel last minute for work all the time, it's gonna be hard to do that. And I also don't think a no spend challenge is great for anyone who already feels financially restricted. Like if your finances are so tight, you can't even find one area to reduce expenses. This is not gonna be that great for you because it's gonna be hard to restrict yourself even more, or it'll be hard to even find something that you can restrict. A few tips for success if you choose this challenge. Find that category that is a good balance of something that matters to you, but it's not gonna make you miserable if you put it off for a whole 30 days. Another good tip for this particular challenge is to do it alongside a friend. I told you guys earlier about the no sugar thing with my friends. If one of us got a craving, we would text the group chat and everyone would reply to help keep us motivated. And finally, have replacements. So I said, if you pause or cancel all of your TV streaming services, have something you can replace that with. Free YouTube videos, find a channel you really like. Or if you still have an old Blu-ray or DVD player, use that and watch old movies. If you have replacements, it's gonna be easier to stick to this challenge. All right, we have 3 paths down, 2 to go. Real quick, if you're enjoying this video and taking something out of it, please don't forget to hit the like button. And if you want more videos from me, make sure you subscribe. It's gonna help my video and my channel reach more people, which is the big goal of helping more people with their finances. Challenge path number 4. The savings sprint. This is pretty simple. Every day you save a small amount, any amount that feels doable. It could be $1, it could be $5, it could be $20. The point isn't how much, the point is consistency. Doing this once a day for 30 days reminds you that saving is important to you. I think this challenge is best for people who struggle with saving, who tend to spend a lot, and it's hard for them to put money aside for the future. I think a lot of people now have learned ways to save automatically and they're good at it, but there are still some of you who have never built that muscle, and so I think this can kickstart that journey into learning how to save long term. I don't think this challenge is great for people who are already saving pretty easily. Maybe you pay yourself first and you have direct deposits set up. Maybe you already have an emergency fund. You already have a big cushion. I don't think this challenge is going to be challenging enough for you. And on the flip side, I also don't think this challenge is great for anyone, again, who's in crisis mode. Because if you're in a crisis and you barely have money to deal with that crisis, it's going to be hard to save because that crisis or emergency is probably going to take precedence. The big benefit for this challenge is you're teaching your brain that saving is a priority, period. Now, one alternate version you can do with this challenge is changed saving in a savings account to investing, because it's the same concept. What you're doing is you're teaching your brain that investing, aka planning for future you, is a priority and that you want it to happen over and over again. It's building a habit that you're going to take with you beyond the 30 days. A few tips for success on this challenge: pick one account. Don't overcomplicate it. Pick one account and pick daily amounts that are going to be sustainable. If there's any way to automate it, go on and do so. Or if you want to manually save, putting money in a piggy bank or manually transferring from your checking account to your savings account, make it a daily ritual. Do it at the same time every day, or stack it with another thing you do every day. All right, we are at the end of the list. Now, this is by far, I believe, the hardest challenge. So shout out to you if this is the one you choose. This is really, really, really going to help you turn your finances around and get you accelerating towards wealth this entire year. This is what I call the Systems Glow Up Challenge. For 15 minutes a day, you're going to fix a small part of your money systems. Think about all the behind the scenes things that make your life easier, that can protect your financial life, and that can keep your stress down. So for example, gathering and organizing your financial documents around the house and organizing them into folders or shredding them if you don't need them anymore. Scanning them into your computer so that you can have copies if they're things you need to hold on to. It could be updating your beneficiaries on all of your accounts and insurance policies. This is a big one. People hate when I say this, especially my friends, because I nag them all the time. But adding two-factor authentication and stronger passwords to all of your online accounts, and especially your financial related accounts. Your systems upgrade could also include negotiating bills down and auditing your recurring subscriptions and fees to cancel anything you don't use or to pause anything that you're not sure about. This could also be consolidating old accounts, taking time to actually figure out what accounts you want for your financial life. And it can be cleaning up your email inboxes or the apps and subscriptions on your phone. Let's say all of that you have is already in a good place, very organized, you like your system. You can use this time to upgrade your financial tools. You can research new budgeting and tracking apps and test them out and see if you like them. You want to find things that will make your financial life more efficient. So this challenge is going to be for people who love organization or who don't love organization but absolutely need it. This is where I said this is probably one of the hardest challenges, because if you never find time to organize, this is going to be a very hard challenge for you, but that's why it's a challenge. You want to see if you can do it for 30 days. I also think this is going to be great for people who just feel messy or chaotic with money, who feel like everything's all over the place and you wish it was just simpler. Most people have the knowledge to create a financial system that is efficient and simple, but they just don't take the time to do it. Life gets in the way. So this challenge is challenging you to put aside that time, 15 minutes a day minimum, to work on these various things. So who is this not for? If, similar to the education challenge I mentioned earlier in the video, if you can't find time for 15 minutes and you don't have the brain space for it, you're totally burnt out, this is probably going to be very, very difficult for you to do. Maybe it's something you table for some time in the future. A few tips for success on this one, very similar to the financial education challenge. Do habit stacking. Find a time of day where this happens naturally. Is it while you're having your morning coffee? Is it during your lunch break? Is it in the evening right before you start watching TV? Find a time that you can do this regularly every single day. And similarly to the education challenge, use your calendar, set reminders so that you don't forget. Now, a big thing with this one is there are so many things you can do for your finances during this time frame. Some of them can take 15 minutes or less. Some will be longer and might carry over till the next day. The best thing you can do is make a list of all the things that you want to work on. And then every day when you start your 15-minute block, just pick something. Be kind to yourself if you don't finish it, and then continue with it the next day. I think no matter which path you choose, the point is the same. You are teaching yourself to build habits and to think like someone who wants to build wealth. And then once the sprint of 30 days is over, you're probably going to continue some of those habits. It's the momentum you're building that's going to truly improve your finances. So if you're down for this challenge, let me know in the comments. Comment challenge accepted and let me know which challenge you are doing. I would love to know. Until next time, peace out.